Yep, I would say that some things have definitely changed since last time I was here. We're seeing everything today. Trains, car show, RC racing. It's not every day that you see train tracks going down the middle of a residential street. But in this small Pennsylvania town, it's a pretty normal thing. Welcome to Tyrone, Pennsylvania. This is a stopping point for me on my way to Altoona, Pennsylvania. I'm heading there for one very specific reason, but that reason actually takes place tomorrow in an upcoming video. But before then, I'm going to be spending the full day in Altoona, checking out a few things, seeing what things are different or have changed since my last visit, and also meeting up with a few familiar faces. If you'd like to spend your day with me, then all you need to do is simply come along with me. Can you imagine having this right outside your house? Probably after a while, just becomes like white noise. I learned about this section of Tyrone from my friend Dan from the Altoona area. He brought me and RJ here a few years ago. And this is known as Washington Ave, I believe. Washington Ave in Tyrone is just a couple blocks from the downtown Main Street area. And it's pretty neat because the train tracks go right down the middle of the roadway here, right in front of houses. I guess you could call it a street running train when they do come through. It basically splits the roadway in two different directions. And the unfortunate thing is I never come either the right day or right time of day. I have yet to see a train pass on these tracks, but they do come through here regularly. But I always stop here on my way, passing near the area of either going out to Pittsburgh or Altoona. I make a stop in Tyrone, check out this street, see if there's any action, and like usual, there's not, but I wanted to share it with you guys. When the train's coming, you definitely got to pull over, not a whole lot of room. Just my own curiosity's sake, I actually continued down Pennsylvania Ave towards the end. Glad I did. There's a couple things here worth showing to you guys. One of which is the Tyrone History Museum, part of the Historical Society. It is closed here at the moment, so we won't be going inside. But on the other side of this building are train tracks. That is what Norfolk Southern and Amtrak rides on. I believe it may even be an Amtrak station, but over here we do have a pair of cabooses. One of which obviously has my attention. Those of you who know me know I love trains, and the things that got me started with trains is Conrail. So we do have a Conrail caboose here and a Pennsylvania Railroad caboose on display here. They both have some information plaques. So we'll take a glance at those. And there is one more little hidden thing I want to show you that I have seen riding the train, but now we can actually see it in person. Caboose number 21024. This Conrail caboose is of the N7B series. These cabooses were built by the New York Central Dispatch Shops. There were a total of 100 made, numbers 21,000 through 21,099. This caboose was the 25th built in 1998. Its dimensions are 27 feet, 7.5 inches long, 10 feet, 7.25 inches wide, and 11 feet, 9 5/8 inches high. Total weight of the caboose is 48,600 pounds. And this caboose was a crude North American rail car coupled to the end of the train. It provided shelter for the flagman and rear brakeman who looked out for shifting loads, assisted in switching, and looked for damage to equipment and overheated axles. As we've learned going to different museums and just talking about cabooses, these played a pivotal role back in the old railroad days. These were both shelter and a working office for the crewmen. Most of them were equipped with a little coal stove, a washroom, desk, beds, and workspace as well. And I believe that is called a bay window, if I'm not mistaken. It's a faded blue, but it is Conrail blue. And it's sitting on tracks. And I believe this was an old rail line at one time. There's a placard over there too, which is a bridge. So maybe we'll get confirmation of that. But right here we do have Pennsy number 477813. It says the Pittsburgh region. And this one is one of N5B series of cabooses made by the Pennsylvania Railroad in 1941. It is built in the Juniata shops in Altoona, Pennsylvania. And there were a total of 200 N5B cabooses made with the numbers 477620 through 477819. Dimensions are 30 feet, 7.5 inches long, 9 feet, 8 inches wide, and 13 and 5 inches high. Total weight of the caboose is 43,150 pounds. And the NB5 was a crude North American rail car coupled to the end of the train for the same reasons. Shelter for the flagman, brakeman of the trains. But they are on display here in Tyrone, Pennsylvania. I do remember seeing these riding my Amtrak train out to Pittsburgh on more than one occasion. And it's neat to actually see these in person now and to kind of appreciate the history behind them as well. One thing I noticed too is the Pennsy caboose has the old hot boxes, or known as journal boxes, which were packed with cloth and oil to keep the rolling parts lubricated. That's what a lot of people looked out for, the crewmen of hot boxes on freight cars, so that they didn't overheat and potentially cause a fire, where these ones just have the rolling bearings, if you want to call it that. I don't know the proper name for it, but not sure if these are the original truck set for this caboose, but it's definitely newer than that as far as the wheel set or truck set on it. This is known as the Tyrone Station Park Observation Bridge. This picture is what the bridge looked like after many years of neglect. It was built in the 1850s when the railroad was expanding towards Bald Eagle, Phillipsburg, and Clearfield. Today the bridge has been converted into an observation platform for rail fans to watch train traffic on the Bald Eagle Nittany line, and for others to just enjoy watching the river pass beneath them. This is a neat little area. Offers some spectacular views. And to know that this was once a rail line and now it's just an observation bridge. So here we have the creek beneath us, looking into downtown Tyrone. And I believe those tracks there on that bridge are the same ones that we saw going down Washington Ave. There's also another bridge there too, so you can actually get down below the tracks. That crosses over as a pedestrian bridge. Yes, this would be a fantastic spot to catch trains. I'm going to have to find out the schedule from either someone, or if there is a schedule online. I'd like to not only see them running on Washington Ave, but also crossing over here too. But as you can tell, the bridge did cross all the way over at one time. Most likely merged with that line right there. Probably would have been a switch up ahead. And I wouldn't be against going further through this to see how it looks up there, but it is obviously severely overgrown. So if I do come back in a wintertime return, I may investigate back there. But what a neat little area. I had no idea this existed. But I have one more surprise for you. I bet you can't guess what it is. If you do come under this little pavilion just to the left of the Tyrone History Museum, there is a relic you could spot. Right there, Toys R Us semi-trailer, complete with Jeffrey the Giraffe. They've been out of business for several years now, but those trailers are really iconic. I remember seeing them getting pulled down the highway, down the roads, going to the Toys R Us stores, and going to Toys R Us around Christmas time, going through the catalog, picking out toys. A lot of fun memories. It's just a thing of the past now, but trailers like that keep those memories alive. Welcome to Altoona, Pennsylvania. Finally arrived here at my destination, right here in front of the Capitol and the Amtrak station. And I'm here in a familiar spot. Now, throughout this video, I'm going to be mentioning some things as far as places I filmed or things I've checked out in the past. If you do want to see any of those videos, they will be linked down below. But I did meet up with my first familiar face. You guys remember him? None other than RJ. He's out here in Altoona probably for his 37th time. And we're gonna hang out for a bit, see if we catch any trains. And then later on this evening, we're gonna be meeting up with a few other individuals and a couple more tomorrow. So it's gonna be a busy weekend for us here in Altoona. But RJ did state that he thinks there's maybe a derailment down the line, that he spotted some track crews going down there with the maintenance away equipment and cranes. So there may not be any traffic as of yet, but
unverified.
Yeah, possibly.
Just assuming.
But I did want to show you the museum because RJ did state there's some changes from when I was last time here. Something that's missing and something that's in its place. So let's go check that out. So although I've been to the museum before, I'm not going to be going in it today. But I did want to show you parts of the yard because of one notable difference.
You could always hit the gift shop.
Yeah, we could. That never hurts. So right here, something's missing, something's in its place. You may remember there is a burgundy color GG1 that sat right here on this track. And RJ told me last time he was here, he saw it was gone. They don't know where they moved it. Hopefully it's inside, going to be getting some work done to it. That's only hopefully, we don't know for certain. But we do have a striking blue diesel locomotive saying Curry Rail Services for Penn State, Altoona. Looks like it has a fresh paint job. Looks like it's in operating condition. So we don't know the story with this locomotive as to what its intended purpose is for. RJ speculated maybe a teaching tool. But regardless of what it's used for, it is on display here. If you do go into the museum and pay your admission, you could come out to the yard here, walk around, check it out, but it is on display. But I'm kind of sad to see the GG1. It's always something I look forward to coming here each and every time, but maybe we'll find out through the comments or just through the museum website or Facebook that they do have some plans for it. Right there you can make out the kind of silhouette of the old Pennsy logo. Would have been a PRR stamp there. And that is a mail car / combination car. We know it's a mail car because on the front door and the second to last door there are two little hinges right there where the mail arm would have been to grab the bags as they're going down the line. We know that for a fact because we've been inside of one of those at Steamtown in their museum. They do have a baggage car on display that you can walk through, and it still has the arm attached, and you can move it, pretend you're picking up a load of mail as you're going down the line. I just came out of the Railroaders Memorial Museum gift shop, bought a couple things. I got a shirt, a sticker, and a magnet. The magnet actually RJ found, and it was the last one, so I snatched it up.
I got a lanyard, horseshoe curve lanyard, and two shirts.
Two shirts. But while we're in there, though, we actually found out some good information, things we were wondering prior to going inside, and the attendant inside was really a nice guy and full of information. So we found out that the K1
and
GG1,
my neck of the woods.
GG1 that was normally out here in the yard is inside the roundhouse just to get it out of the elements, because basically it's just sitting outside rotting away. I think there's a train coming too.
Perfect.
And also the K4 steam locomotive is inside undergoing restoration for operating condition. And that blue Penn State locomotive that we saw was freshly painted. It's awaiting a turbo, but it basically is ready to go. That's going to be used by the Penn State campus for them to learn how to work and operate a diesel locomotive. So,
yep, there's one coming.
Yeah, so we do have a train coming as we speak. So it appears if you come every few years, you're going to see some different things. Some things may be moved to different parts of the property, some removed, some added. But I'm glad to know that the GG1 is going to be saved. And they said that there is maybe speculation, possibly, that it will be restored cosmetically, which will give it longevity for decades to come. But enough of that. Let's see what kind of train's coming ahead of us here. All right, it's approaching on the second track in from the right. And we're gonna give the old horn signal, see if we get a little horn action here. All right. Smells like your truck.
Yeah, it does. Actually, it smells better than my truck.
Well, instead of if you build it, they will come, it's if you wait, it will come. got some pushers as well. Just finished up hanging out with RJ for a bit and decided to check into my hotel. I'm actually staying in a brand new place I've never stayed at before, so I figured I'd give you a quick room tour, show you what it's like. So after coming in, we do have the bathroom here. Let's see how the water pressure is. Oh, good water pressure. Good sized mirror, a little bit of shelving. Decent sized shower head. Looks like it'll be more than 3 sprinkles coming out at least, which is good. Towels actually feel decent quality. They're not super thin and dry. Tile floor. And then we come out to the main room here. We do have 2 queen beds. Our thermostat control right here. Some kind of wall art. Don't know what that is. I will say lighting is not the greatest in here. It's sufficient, but typically I like rooms that have enough light to make it a bit brighter. I do like the accent lighting on top there. It bounces off the ceiling. I don't know if there's any lower light. Maybe there is. Oh, there we go. Okay, so there is actually top and bottom light. So great little workspace here. I'll be doing some editing. Probably watching some YouTube videos on my computer there. On this light here, we do have 2 plugs underneath it, but I don't see any USB ports. Not that that's really a problem. I bring my own, but usually they have USB ports. Little space here to hang some clothes if you want to. Got my bag there. Closet, of course. Microwave. Oh, microwave actually has plugs built into. I've never seen that before. Coffee, which I won't be touching that, and a mini fridge. Here's our nice AC blown out, and a nice little, I guess you could kind of consider that a couch. Like a window seat. You can sit on it, look out the window, and the view is not bad, but it's actually people's backyards. So, do have the mountains in the distance, but we are looking pretty much at people's driveways right there. A little bit different than what I'm used to, but it looks like it's a quiet area. We do have the blackout shades, of course, so get some nice privacy for a good night's sleep. And that is pretty much it. Just a basic standard room. It is pretty clean. Modern. Breakfast is included. It does have an indoor pool as well. And it's a little bit more than what I pay for at other places, but this one is in a better location, and I wanted to try something different. And there is some plugs there too, a USB port. It's actually a nice little spot right here. I'm going to get unpacked, get everything set up, get my computer connected to the Wi-Fi. I do have some files to transfer already. And then I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do before dinner time. Dinner time, I'm going to one of my favorite places. RJ is joining me as well as 2 other people, so you'll see them once we do go there. If I do something fun before dinner, obviously I'll bring you along as well. If not, after dinner, we do have something planned, which you definitely will be coming along for. Well, it's that time of day, time for dinner, and I do have a few more faces with me right now. You know him, Matt? We saw him earlier, and Dan is joining us as well.
I'm just a figment of your imagination.
So I'm looking forward to this. I don't have it all that often, but when I do, I really enjoy it. So let's go get some good food. All right, Matt, what'd you get?
I got the lo mein with orange chicken, and then I also got, I think this is my first time actually having the rangoons.
Is it? Because last time they were sold, they had no more,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, they were all sold out, so.
It was like a hot commodity.
Yeah.
What about you, Dan?
Fried rice, teriyaki chicken, beef and broccoli, and the orange chicken.
Okay. You, sir?
I got the goose headless, still smiling.
Nice. What is it, orange?
Orange chicken with lo mein at the bottom, and then
Some rice?
fried rice, yeah, and then this, whatever this
The
apple.
ragoons.
Apple.
Oh, you got that. Yeah. Something different. And I myself got the teriyaki chicken with lo mein. I got a bowl. Typically I get a plate and get the teriyaki plus the orange chicken, but I'm trying to take it easy, but I did get a side of crab ragoons. As we mentioned last time we were here in Altoona a few years ago, they were completely out of them, so glad they have them in stock. I said, if not, I'm flipping a table. When's the last time you had panda?
The last time we all met up here that time.
What about you, last week?
Yeah. You go around the window.
So after having dinner, we came back to an area that we saw earlier today, back on the overhead pedestrian bridge right next to the Railroaders Memorial Museum. 4 of us are here. Matt's actually setting up as we speak with his, he repurchased a Pocket 3, the same thing I'm filming on right now. He's like, Jay, the image quality is just too good. So I don't blame him for getting another one. And I just have to say, it's my first time filming here and doing train watching in lower light conditions with this camera. And I just have to say, what I can see so far looks amazing. I never had quality so good on my channel, so hopefully you guys are really enjoying and appreciating what this camera is able to show you guys. And the fact that I can walk around and it's following me as I go, and you can hear me with the microphone here, I'm really happy with what I have right now. But we're gonna hang out here for a bit, hopefully catch a few trains. Obviously we're gonna try to get some horn action. And since Matt is filming, his channel will be mentioned in the description if you want to check out his channel and his footage as well. But we are having plans for tomorrow, which I'm probably going to include some of tomorrow's activities in this video. Maybe before or after this, you may or may not have already seen it. But tomorrow evening is a separate event, something I'm doing a separate video for. But tomorrow we're meeting up with 2 more friends, and we do have some things planned for the daytime use, daytime hours. And I want to include that as part of our full day here in Altoona. Didn't have to wait very long. We have an oncoming train. That's what you call crystal clear 4K vision of rail fanning. I didn't think he was going to see me, but he did. Gave us a little toot of the horn. Just the intermodal. Thankfully it's not a trash train. Those things stink. As this one's still passing, we have another oncoming train. See the lights in the distance. Actually looks kind of neat with the lens flare.
Yeah.
Got all the lights on, the overhead lights and the ditch lights. The first train has stopped. This one is doing a slow pass by. 3 locomotives. Oh, after a brief hiatus of about probably 30 minutes, we do have another train approaching. So we're looking, if you look where those lights are right there, that's basically the museum area. So the train that's approaching is coming from the curve area, coasting downhill slowly. And unfortunately, RJ is feeling ill. He's over there by the other guys, and he's basically been regurgitating his dinner. I feel really bad for him. He's been hunched over the railing for about a good 20 minutes now. Hoping he feels better. You know, we all came here to hang out and have a good time, but either something's not cooperating with what he ate or something else is going on, but he's definitely feeling it. I feel bad for him. No horn action on that one, but we have another intermodal. I know some people don't really get the whole train watching thing. I know it's not for everyone, but for me, it's just something peaceful and relaxing, if that makes sense. Just watching them, hearing them, the smell of the diesel, the rumble of the engine, the different squeals and squeaks and noises they make. as we speak. Thankfully, I have other friends who enjoy it just as much as me. I'm not sure if you can hear it. RJ is still hacking up a lung. I don't know what's even left of him. He's been, you know, expelling out of him for close to 30 minutes now. But we are going to hang out here a bit longer, see if we catch any more trains. But right now, for you guys watching, we're going to jump ahead into the future, into tomorrow during the daytime, because tomorrow we have 2 more people coming, 2 more familiar faces, and all of us, which is 6 of us, will be doing some things during the daytime, going to some places that we have seen before on my channel, and maybe some things we haven't seen before. So feel free to check that out right now. We're now at the old historic district of Altoona. Markers here saying 1849. And myself and Matt are going to be doing a scooter ride down the historic district and checking out a few different things here in the downtown area. Now, as mentioned, certain things I did do a video on before. This is one of them, so it will be linked down below if you want to see my first look at the historic district. I was here with RJ, and it was basically winter time, so things looked a bit different. But right now, we're just going to take a ride down, check out a few of the buildings. Some of them have been renovated or remodeled since I was last here. Some of them are still the same. But there is some history on this street, including right here, Penn Central Place. I believe this is the old Penn Central Railroad headquarters, and the old Keystones are up there for when it used to merge with the Pennsylvania Railroad. The building is abandoned. I believe it's condemned. Unfortunately, there's no access inside, but it is a prominent structure here on the corner of 11th Ave and 12th Street. And you have the sign right here signifying Penn Central Place. And here's the other side of it here, which at one time, or last time I was here, this was open. It wasn't fenced off like it is now. So it's obviously getting in worse condition. Probably don't want people trying to get inside, but it is for rent. And you might be the only tenant inside that building. But let's check out the rest of the historic district here in downtown Altoona. Just going down the street here, we've got the Southern Allegheny Museum of Art. Pretty colorful. Nice clock up there. And as we get further down, there's, I believe, an old department store, McCrory's, if I remember correctly. You can tell that season's just around the corner. Pumpkin is back.
Oh boy, pumpkin flavored everything.
Yeah, and it's not for me. I can't stand it. But this building here, if I do remember correctly, because the pictures are gone, this was the old McCrory's department store, and is undergoing renovation for luxury apartments coming soon. Cook's Family Businesses. Last time I was here, they did have some old pictures and facades here dictating what used to take place or what was actually occupied in this storefront here. But if I am mistaken on the store, I will put the correction on the screen, but I believe this was a McCrory's department store. Oh yeah, it's still up there. You can see McCrory's up there on the top, etched into the concrete. It's great to see that it's going to have a second life. That's not going to just be left abandoned or eventually torn down. I remember this building too had the tile entryway here, the letter C. Nice double doorway here. This is a clear example of how a building can look when it's revitalized. This looks stunning. Got the brick offsets up there with the designs. Looks like marble columns. The little balconies right there. Brand new windows. Brand new paint. You can see the molding around there. Really tastefully done. You can tell it's a new renovation, but still looks period correct. I love seeing that. This looks like it was another large store. I don't know what that is. Looks like it's mostly empty, but we have a few more to continue on down the road to see, including the park up here where there's a train car. Forgot about this side street here, which has a couple things worth checking out. This is illuminated at nighttime. There is some Christmas lights or just lights themselves strung up across the street. Beautiful stone church over there, but across the street next to the church is a pretty spectacular mural. Got the trolley right there, some storefronts. Looks like this is actually the street that we're riding down, the historic district. Steam locomotive right there, a Pennsy locomotive, the rail workers. Fortunately, the cars are blocking part of the view, but you get the idea. It's really tastefully done. Matt's doing take 2. He's like, it helps if you hit the record button. I'm like, yeah, I know that feeling. All right, so here we are in the square area, the whatever you want to call it, market area. And here is the other mural I mentioned. This one I really love because it's basically dictating someone holding with their hand like that a picture. And that picture is this street of how it used to look. And I love getting a glimpse back into the old days. You could tell with the wardrobe, the building fronts, lack of vehicles. But some of the attention to detail is really well done. You got a little monkey right there. And Uncle Sam, a dog with some children. And it just looks like the good old days, better times in some aspects, simpler times. Altoona 1732 streetcar right there. So right there is what we're looking at back in the day. In case you want a postcard to take home, there's a variety of them right here. They're only 50 cents a piece. Greetings from Altoona, Pennsylvania, and they are life-size postcards. Instead of me referencing this as something I don't know what it has, it's officially known as Heritage Plaza. This resembles like a train station right here. Train platform. There's the buses right there that I do pick up. I do find it humorous, they say Amtran, A-M-T-R-A-N. So they do work in conjunction with Amtrak for transportation needs. Amtrak comes here in the morning from Pittsburgh on the way to Harrisburg, and it comes through here around dinner time, around 5-6 p.m. on the way to Pittsburgh. So it only comes through here, to pick up and drop off at those times. But they are looking to have more times added in the future, hopefully, to make it more convenient to travel from either Pittsburgh or to Harrisburg from Altoona. And this is our combination car over here, United States Mail Railway Post Office. I don't know what the story is with this car. It's been here for a number of years. The other side of it does have air conditioners in the windows, so I guess they do use it at certain times. But it's right here along the roadway and looks like another display area. More Christmas lights going around and a little tiny clock tower. See the brackets right here where the arm would be mounted for the mail bags. And looks like it's just for storage. Here's some sound equipment in there, chairs. So other than storage for events, that's pretty much all it's used for. So at least it's not going to waste. It's still being used for some purpose. And as we're checking out this train car, we have an intermodal that's coming from Horseshoe Curve heading towards the Rose Yard. There's an old candy store here, McIntyre's Candies. Unfortunately, no longer in business. It is an empty storefront. I'm sure a lot of cavities were created from this store here. I struggled naming this. I thought it was
McIntyre.
Yeah, it took me about 30 seconds to realize it. Like McGintyre's?
It's an old...
And I think last time I was here, this building was in business. There was a nice display for Christmas time with Christmas decorations and gifts you could buy. We remember this building. We've seen it time and time again here on my visits. This is one grand looking church. I always thought it was like a city hall or a courthouse or something, but it is a magnificent church. The dome, it's hard to put it into words how large it is. The video doesn't do it justice. And even me standing in front of it wouldn't even compare because it's just so high up and so far away. But that dome is ginormous, as Buddy the Elf would say. And even right there, the curvature, it's like a rotunda, little balconies up there. I don't know if they ever offer tours of that place. If they do, I will be back in the future to give you a look inside. But that's just a beautiful building. Said it before, I'll say it again. If you like trains and train action and rail fanning like this, Altoona is definitely a place to come. If you don't like trains, don't like to watch trains, don't like to hear trains, you probably want to stay away from Altoona. That's what mostly this town consists of, trains. We just rolled into the parking lot of the Railroaders Memorial Museum, and there's an impromptu car show taking place. I think these are Austin Healey's that Matt said. I thought they were maybe MGs. There's some Jaguars here. I don't know what the occasion is, but they're just gathered here. All different colors. Some are different models, but beauties nonetheless. Gorgeous day too for driving one of these. Look at the blue one here, MGB. You guys know I picked that one right there, right off the bat. That's a Triumph right here. I know Triumph makes motorcycles. I didn't know they made vehicles as well. Here's another MG GT. Looks like a James Bond vehicle. Nice color. It's like a brown mustard color. Couple more classics right here, but this one is eye-catching to me. I saw this when we came in. It says it's a Minor 1000. Looks like a little Woody.
Yeah.
Oh, it's right-hand drive. I wonder if this came from England. Minor 1000. It's got European plates.
I've never heard of this.
It's European.
Yep.
Almost looks like a Volkswagen too. Like a Volkswagen and an old Woody. That is neat. Figured worthy to share with you. I know there's some car buffs out there. Maybe some of you have owned cars like these or have always wanted one. And even a Mini Cooper right here. But they couldn't ask for a better day to come here and ride in a convertible and put their cars on display. Just stopped off at another place I've been to before. Although I was here before with RJ, it was much colder and windier. This is known as the Rose Yard for Norfolk Southern. It's one of the busier areas where a lot of the trains get built that actually pass through Horseshoe Curve, both to and from. They build the trains here, they dismantle them, and it goes in both directions, even all the way down. If you look straight ahead, there's all different lines jetting off to the side where they store freight cars and locomotives. And off in the distance over here, which we're going to be riding by, is the Juniata shops where they build the locomotives, repair them, paint them. And there's also a lot of locomotives sitting in the yard here awaiting either repainting work, renumbering, motor work, maybe dismantling. So it's a pretty busy location. It's only a fraction of the size it used to be. The lines used to be all the way over there. All rail lines. And the Juniata shops used to be much larger. Used to be a huge turntable over there, which is now gone. But there's still a lot of activity here though, for Norfolk Southern at least. Those are the two pushers. This is going to be heading towards and around Horseshoe Curve. Just made a quick pit stop in Juniata and just discovered there's an RC track here. I never saw this before. So I get a little action and then zipping around here on the course.
We're catching a little bit of everything today.
Yeah.
As we came down the road, we noticed they have this little RC track here. And they're setting up some tents. It looks like they're going to have some kind of race here. But man, that looks like...
We're seeing everything today. Trains, car show, RC racing. Those of you who have watched my older videos of the Altoona area, do you remember this house? Some of you might, because I put out a question to the viewers saying, would you buy this house for the specific reason of its location? And the location is this. The Juniata Shops turntable area. What a sight. This is where they maintain their fleet of locomotives in this part of the division of Norfolk Southern. All those bays are filled for either paint work, mechanical work, restoration, dismantling. Even some of them out here in the yard are in various stages of dismantling or assembly, maybe using them for parts. And I was here with RJ last time. They were actually moving stuff around, operating this turntable, which I don't know if we'll be so lucky today, but it is a site worth checking out. Part of the Juniata Shops here in Altoona, and like I said, I had that house build a nice second-story deck and have a nice viewing platform. Even run a live 24/7 feed, watching the activity out here. But it is something else. You know, we see roundhouses and turntables at Extreme Town, even Reading and Northern has them, but this one, much more grander scale, a lot more locomotives here. That one right there looks like number 102 or 2102. There's a little switcher engine used to pull the equipment around here on the turntable. I think last time we were here, we maybe have seen the Wabash Heritage unit as well. So you never know what you'll see, but this is kind of the heart of Norfolk Southern. It's just on a much smaller scale than what it used to be. Oh, it's just Matt and myself right now. Our night kind of unofficially ended early. RJ is just not doing good. We're in the process of helping him get situated. Dan is actually going to take him home to his place. We're going to take RJ's truck to our hotel, so it's going to be safe. And he's actually in the car right now, pulled over on the side of the road, hacking up as we speak. He said he's got the chills. He's very weak. Obviously, he's going to be dehydrated and tired from doing that for almost an hour. And we said, you know, if you're not better by the morning, you're going to have to go get checked out. But with that being said, up until the point he got sick, we did have a good time. We're thinking that maybe he had something at dinner that didn't sit well with him, but we all ate almost the same things. And the rest of us do feel fine, thankfully, but I can only imagine what he feels like. And he was even apologizing, saying, oh, sorry to ruin your time. I'm like, no, man, like, we just want you to feel better. And hopefully he is better by tomorrow. But we are gonna get everything situated that we need to do to make sure that his stuff is taken care of. And hopefully he gets to Dan's place, get some rest, get rehydrated, and feels better. And if I do have an update in the upcoming day or so, I will obviously share that either in the pinned comment or in a different video. But I do want to thank you for coming along, spending a full day with me in Altoona. Even though we did kind of start in Tyrone, we did come here because tomorrow is a special occasion that I am attending, and the rest of us are, that we've never done before. So that obviously will be in its own separate video. But we got to have some decent food. I say decent because I don't think he enjoyed it. I don't think he's gonna want Panda ever again, but we enjoyed it, I enjoyed it. Got to see some trains, and of course, when I wasn't filming, one more train came through, a trash train, which stunk. But the horn, the engineer gave a nice little horn. The, what's that thing called? Like the something on a shoe? Like the dun 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 dun. Well,
Shaving a haircut.
Shaving a haircut, that's it. He gave that on the horn, and of course I wasn't filming, but. All right, guys, thanks so much for hanging out, and until next time, I'll see you in the next video. So I'm filming this segment after the video already ended. I wanted to give you guys a formal update on RJ. So after we ended the video, after we went home at night, Dan took RJ home to his house. We took RJ's truck to the hotel just so it was in a safe place because Dan was about 40 minutes away. And we just wanted to make sure everything was gonna be taken care of. We didn't want RJ to drive, nor was he even in the condition to drive if he wanted to. He had a hard time making it to Dan's car. He was walking and nowhere to fly like an old man, like holding onto the railing, taking little tiny steps. He just was that weak and fatigued and was just fear of getting nauseous again. So I kept in touch with Dan through the evening after that, and then touched base with him this morning and with RJ. He did sleep pretty much most of the night, got some fluids back in him, and he's feeling better. He's not 100% better, but he is feeling better. Both of them went out this morning to check out on a tractor, and they're gonna meet up with us this afternoon. But I don't know what got into him as far as like a stomach bug or something he ate. We all ate a Panda. The rest of us feel fine. I didn't get sick or nothing like that, but whatever he had just really did a number on him. He was sick for over an hour just on the pedestrian bridge alone. And then when he was in Dan's car, they had to keep pulling over because just more of it kept coming out. So hopefully whatever he did have is out of his system and he's on the road to recovery, but he should be meeting up with us this afternoon. And that it doesn't do a repeat tonight because we do have plans for it tonight as well. But I just wanted to take the time to let you guys know in case you were curious that he is doing better and that you guys should see him in an upcoming video while we're still here in Altoona. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.